You're ready, let me know.
I'll push the button and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Three, two, one.
Greeting everyone. This is Ahmad Muradi with my colleagues across the world. I have my dear colleague Madi from Bucharest, Romania. I have Mr. Vijay from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And I have Mr. Ricardo Canchola from Orlando, Florida. And yours truly is still communicating from good old Isabela, Puerto Rico, where we are connected all together as panelists. And today we decided to do something unique to talk about some of the features of our own technologies, as we obviously bring certain guests and we express some of the educational matter. We find also the use of the technology that we have built very useful for companies, enterprises, businesses, health, law, and so forth, that they have different use and applications. Today, one of the core objectives that we wanted to focus on was on traditional streaming and the use of the traditional streaming inside these rooms. So you can picture where you can have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, millions of these rooms available, and then be able to stream to these rooms where casts with their peer and colleagues can attend and watch the show. And those content obviously comes from your own rights management. Some of this content could be broadcasting, let's say, from Facebook or from YouTube or from other CDNs that we have worked in the past. We bring one of the largest spectrum of experiences in different CDN because we are one of the oldest company who has started the process with the streaming business. Actually, we founded the foundation of many of these bit rates and variation that companies use is founded on our patents. So we understand that, and also we want to share that because the layer that you have in here as overlay with the background picture that is on your right hand side, these pictures can be transformed to different streaming. So with that in mind, we're going to go give you some exercises and ideas how things can work. The first one that we are going to do is called Live in 30 Seconds. And Live in 30 Seconds, actually, it's an ability to be able to provide the protocol that we require, accommodating different settings. So let's see if we can make that change in real time for you. And this is so we are going to refresh our page here to get the video edit and everything else going. I think we register ourselves and log in so we can accommodate those changes. And I am going to go to the background settings and be able to make changes that we see the slides transform into Live in 30 Seconds. Live in 30 Seconds was one of our original technologies that right now competes with many streaming companies. And one of the things that associated itself with companies like Livestream that now is owned by Vimeo, and Ustream that now is called IBM Video. These technologies obviously work in streaming side as what we call traditional streaming. Traditional streaming, one problem that it occurs is you have latency. So if you're doing a broadcast from a site, from a point of entry as a venue, for the guests to be able to watch and see that, it's really a natural. In this case, for example, you see we put live in 30 seconds, but there is no streaming going on because we are already broadcasting. But if there was an event in here, then this event would be broadcasted. So then on the site that you could see potentially where we can essentially be able to demonstrate or show on the background, where Maddie can click on the icon on the background and put the whole page in there. And you will also see there is a Twitter account. So the guests interactively can communicate with your services through Twitter while they're watching the event. So this feature was one of our original features that we had built from 2008 until now. So it is not something new to us, but we have been using it for many years. What we decided to do is take the live streaming from what we call unicast, which basically you have one live streaming going on from a point of entry, or you may call it live cast, into multicasting capabilities. So when we are going to change things to more features, for instance, we will be able to demonstrate to you that we now can bring all of a sudden more videos. So in this presentation now, we're going to show you how you can stream 4 live videos in the background. And so you see that the room changes automatically. Automatically, we picked up few point of entries. These point of entries are from different parts of the world, as you can see. For example, from Lucerne, and use of this becomes very powerful. I give you some of the ideas of how we use this live streaming in the past from what we call multicast into different settings. Some of our clients have been companies like Stolichnia, or Stoli's Drink, and obviously colleagues that they would come in and engage. That they all have 4 different point of entries that is being streamed instead of 1. Then you have with peers different viewing and different real-time experiences. So this kind of things, you're looking at approximately about 7 videos being streamed from the room. That depending on your encoding capabilities, you'll be able to do this. Now, this content that you see in here is broadcasted for to a streaming space. In these rooms, we have built over 101 different standard players that it automatically, through our technology that we had built in the past called IVA, automatically recognizes the bitrate. While we are going through the exercise, now we're going to talk about changing the setting again into more video. So with this case, right now, we're going to push the boundaries and show you with the 6 webcam and accomplish the same goal and objective. So in a matter of a few minutes, again, you're going to see the background screen changes. You'll be able to demonstrate 6 videos coming from different locations. Some of these videos you can pause, like you see in here, so it requires, obviously, we are more focused on showing you what the room does. Okay, so now you can see we have just increased the pipe, and now you got 6 plus 4, you got close to 10 video being streamed. So this is, again, another example of how things evolution and servability and subject to the bandwidth, then you can accommodate. So now the screen should refresh. What we are doing, one is that you can use your streaming services that you already use and integrate it into this. So you have best of both worlds, where you can bring the panelists training and for broadcasting on various ideas such as corporate services. On the other side of it is that you can capture the entire screen as a screencast and broadcast it through your own streaming services that you have. So all of a sudden you have the ability of having the entire room, and 30 seconds later, that is not an effective communication, because that communication behavior, they want to instruct you immediately. So real time, that is something with.
Okay. That is a very important aspect that you have, the machine and the equipment that is at the producer level. And yes. I think I just froze myself.
That's okay, we can hear you. Just carry on the conversation.
And it is very important. In this case right now, I'm using, okay, at this point I'm using my backup computer because my Mac is on the shop and the CPU on this computer is limited. So with real, and basically we're exploring venues now in the in the world of languages like that are interested in are. So that is something that NetStairs has been able to accomplish, and we
the garbage out. Okay, so it's the input and output that it really matters. So with anywhere else, you can just click on that icon, and that opens up the sidebar and allows you to see that. Now, Sir Vijay, what's been your
communications is the infrastructure must be upgrading themselves and moving towards the 5G. Is becoming more prominent. We work on any conditions. I know our technology works on any condition. It doesn't matter if it's 2G, just around real-time communications, creating a network operating center information.
These kind of activities for different clients in different parts of the world. We need to manage things. What we've done is basically build another setting, what we call rehearsal room. These rehearsal rooms are extremely effective because when you invite guests, bandwidth is sufficient and you really don't want to compromise the quality of your service. So when assignment to a program manager, the program manager who's assigned as a moderator, so to speak, that they are responsible for broadcasting the event. In this case, my colleague Maddie, she is doing the broadcast page. Then the moderator simply clicks and transfers that guest from the backstage to the front stage, just like if you were physically having a second place, and then you can transfer them back to production room, like in this case, our digital media room 2222. So live cast, multicast, and simulcast. Now, simulcast is a project like, for example, we do with interactive TVs or smart TVs, because a lot of colleagues that they are doing work on confidentiality. We don't sell data. We always engage, and this ability gives you the ability to bring one view or standard players that is already integrated in here, such as YouTube, virtual reality. Session, we wanted to show you the power of Pixel and how it behaves as a back